Hello ladies and gents, Bushman here and welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to be having a look at the new update, what's come with that update, and we're also going to be discussing the future and the state of the game. As you could probably tell, bit of a different format today, and there's a few reasons behind that. One is to get me out of my comfort zone, as I'm wanting to start streaming. I have streamed before, but not regular, and I've not felt the most comfortable doing it. So the only way to maybe try and accomplish that is just by doing more videos like this, I guess. And getting on camera and trying to think of things on the spot. And my previous videos, what I tend to do is write a script, and it's well thought out, and like the step-by-step build videos and so on. I've never really just done things on the spot, so the only way to get better at it is by practice. So that's why the videos took a little bit of a different format today. So let's jump into the game and let's have a look at some changes that's happened. Just loading in there. I know the servers haven't been the most stable. We had many disconnects and crashes yesterday, or throughout the whole weekend really, but I'm hoping that they've sorted it by now. But I've just been looking at the last Oasis Discord server there, and they haven't made an update since last night saying that they're investigating issues. So we don't know if there's been any changes since that, officially anyway. Also, I'd like to apologise for you can see like the kind of distortion around the chair. I haven't actually got a green screen, so I'm using a program to kind of imitate a green screen instead. And the reason being is that I haven't got space for it. I used to have a gaming room, but when my son was born, that's now his bedroom. So I've been demoted to the bottom of the stairs and next to the front door, and the pathway up to the stairs in the hall. So there's a lot of distractions, but that's another reason this video isn't live really, because anything could happen. My wife could shout on me telling me to do the dishes, or the kids are up for a little afternoon nap just now, but they could run down and disrupt it as well. So anyway, here's the Mollusk, and this is what I've been working on over the weekend. I've managed to get it to almost full tier 3, apart from the mobility. Let's have a little look. So we've got a full tier 3 apart from the mobility, and the reason being is that you need the reinforced plank, which in turn needs iron, and it's still not in the game as of yet. Well, it is in the game, but it's extremely hard to get hold of. Because they haven't introduced the fallen meteors yet. But as you can see, it's only, what level is it? I think it's only level 6 quality, so not many module slots, only the one that can fit 7 modules, and I've went with the Fortress module, which increases the armor value of all structures attached to the walker. So like the walker climber, the repeater, and ballistas at the back there. And what I've set up, I've got armored legs on it, and I've also got the heavy wings, which have got about 4,500 HP. No, the legs have got 4,500, and the heavy wings have got 3,400. Which is a huge difference. I think the small wings only have about 1,500 health, so at least it'll take people griefing you a bit of time to damage them, etc. But this is the new solo meta, this walker, and just a point to note on what's to follow. I'm currently working on a 130 panel base for this walker, and it'll also fit in the stiletto as well. I know a lot of people have been asking for a base for the stiletto, so that will be coming in a future video, and I am working on it. Also, just to note as well, the ultimate solo base has been raided. I've currently wrote up a script for that, and I'm in the middle of editing a video, so hopefully I'll have that finished by the end of play today, and I'll schedule it for release for tomorrow. And hopefully you'll see how strong that base was as well. So that's something to look forward to. So let's have a look what I've done with the Mollusk Walker. rather than have any crafting stations up top, this is actually the strongest little compact mini base you are going to get in the game. It needs 12 fire arrows to get inside, to unlock this walker. 12. That's huge. That's a huge amount for one little room. And we've got 2 chests in here. And we've got a stomping station, woodworking station, a campfire, and an advanced furnace, so you can craft on the move. And in the cargo storage there, it's all been upgraded for tier 3. Torque is a massive amount, 2,500 torque this walker can fit inside. That is huge. And it can fit 270 water per slot there as well. So that's what, 540 in total. So that's a lot of respawns, ladies and gents. A hell of a lot. This is a really, really strong ship for solo players. If you decide to, you could move these boxes to maybe the back door, around the back door, and put your steers in here if you want your person protected. But I personally didn't like the field of view at all from driving in there, so I put my steers on the top. And there's 2 ways in and out. You can come in through the top, through the hatch there, and you can come in through there. Well, I mean, this door here is not really necessary. So as I say, you could put another crafting station or 2 through the middle. It'd be a bit tight and a bit cram, like I preferred a bit of ease of access. And you could also trap enemies in here as well. You know, bait people in from the top. If you're on the stairs on the top, I'll show you actually, because you can actually get up there. We're going to see an eclipse in a second. You can actually open and shut this door through this little, through the sort of mesh there. So what you could do is have that open on the top. So leave that closed, you're steering, you've got enemies on your tail. And you can just look through the gap there. Once they get inside, shut it. Obviously your crafting stations are going to get damaged though. That's the only bad point, unless you can get in through the top and kill them quickly. And I've also not figured out whether well, I have figured out, but it doesn't happen all the time. If you kill an enemy inside it and like fully kill them full dead, their loot will spawn on top here on the deck. So once you've downed an enemy, you need to loot them when they're in the down state. Don't let them fully die, because there's a good chance their friends will take the belongings which spawn on the roof here. So that's just a point to note, and we're gonna have to sit and wait. Let me see, I'll put the fire on, bit of light. Have we got any wood? Can't see a bloody thing. Nah, I don't think I have got any wood, unfortunately. So I could put some fibre. Put some fibre in there instead, just for a bit of light. There we go. Let there be light. So that's it. That is the Mollusk in a nutshell, guys, and it pretty much is a nutshell. Very, very, very strong walker for solo players. Only time will tell whether the Zergs are gonna waste the time on breaking these open to loot 2 chests, but we'll have to wait and see, guys. That's another point to note, actually. When you're in the desert now, if I drive into the safe area, this is actually very, very punishing for solo players. So we've got a huge benefit with the walker itself, but this is a bit of a punishment, because you can no longer unpack your base in the safe area. Slow down. So that's us in the safe area now. We can safely log out, which this is the place, obviously, when you bring in your toboggan walker, your main base, or any base for that matter, you could unpack it and place it, but you can't. It says it's too close to the edge of the map now. You can no longer unpack your base in the safe area. So I'd strongly recommend not deploying any base in the desert anymore, especially on the hard maps. You're gonna need to go in and find a suitable location and cover, so you're not seen, because especially for my bases so far, because they're using like the maximum panel count, they take a significantly long time to unpack. And although you can put crafting stations and guardrails and all on your base, which don't count towards the panel counter, the limit. So for example, the 130 panel limit on the Mollusk, but they do count towards the unpacking timer. So each item counts as, you know, as one panel on the counter, which I'll demonstrate in a second when we find a safe area. This footage is completely live, so anything could happen. I could bump into an enemy as we're going in here and have to defend it. We'll wait and see what happens, guys. There are a few guys from the group online, I think. I mean, I play solo a lot of the time during the day, so I'll just be looking for a nice safe location to deploy the base in the woods. But it looks good, the Mollusk Walker, and this is another feature they've added. Like, you can really, this is the furthest you can zoom out, so you get a good sense of space and direction when you're maneuvering through the woods. And I've noticed not hitting rocks as much, and trees and stuff like that. You've probably noticed as well, you see no nares, which are the blue dog looking things. There's none of them in the desert at the moment. They've completely removed them from the game because they were just broken, really overpowered. Let's have a look in here. You really need to take care now when deploying your base. That's why the Mollusk, I mean, a lot of the time my base deployments are just for crafting, but now with the Mollusk you can fit quite a lot of stuff inside there. It's a huge help and a huge time saver. Let's have a look where we're going to stop here. I've got windmills on the top of the... I've got the ultimate solo base in this walker at the moment. And the windmills kind of stick out like a sore thumb. Which is another point to note. I will be looking at redesigns and compact bases and so on for the recent changes. Although, like, don't be too disheartened by the panel pack, and I have seen a lot of people complain about it. It was needed. It was absolutely necessary that they put that in the game. Maybe not as long as it's taken. I mean, it is a significant period of time, especially for the toboggan base. Jesus, that takes well over 5 minutes to unpack. But it is necessary, these panel counters, because people were exploiting the fact that you could just instantly pack and unpack a base. I was going to mention, I don't know if it's because I'm recording or I've got OBS open, but I was going to mention how well the frames have been doing, but it seems to have reverted back. I'm getting quite a lot of frame drops in the woods here. Whereas yesterday, or the first day the patch released, I seen a significant difference in it. And in PvP and combat as well, I've seen a significant difference. It's getting a bit sparsely populated now, the trees. Kinda wanted to go in a thick area. Let's have a look through here. Another thing I've noticed as well, I mean, the settings I'm using, the graphic settings, are what NVIDIA GeForce Experience has recommended to me. But I've noticed like some weird lighting or like, I don't know if it's rendering. Like you'll see when you're going through the trees here, like a light pops onto them. And I really don't like that. That wasn't happening before the update. See them like coming in. I don't know if it's like detail or what. I really don't like that. Just gonna go through these trees here. Right. I'm quite happy with this location here. So let's have a look at unpacking the base. Looks pretty clear round about, quite hidden. No one round about, so let's unpack, guys. As you can see, 4 out of 100 panels. That's another thing, the weight of the Mollusk is, I think it's 5,600. Let's have a look at the weight. 5,600, guys, so 130 panel base will be perfect without having to use weightless modules and so on. They've redesigned the wingsuit. I'm actually wearing a wingsuit here. Zoom in a little bit, as you can see. They've like redesigned how it looks, and also how it functions. I've noticed a huge improvement to the sort of aerodynamics of the whole thing. It just looks smoother. I'm still unpacking. Don't, like I say, don't get too worried about these unpacking timers. You know, it is a bit of a pain, and it's a bit time consuming, like I say, especially on the toboggan walker. And I would still prefer the strength of the base being there, but my only complaint would be, as you've seen at the start there, if someone catches you out right at the start of deploying, they know exactly where your beds are, exactly where your loot is. That is quite game breaking for solo players, because they know exactly where to shoot the fire arrows. Like, I do agree with the timer, but I really wish that they would just make it a timer, or maybe something, you know, just your base is placed but it can't be used within the time, maybe. The fact that it's kind of invisible and everyone can see the layout of the base is quite game breaking, and I really don't like that aspect. But I still stand by, you need to make a strong base no matter what. Even though it's, like I say, it's a bit time consuming, you still need to make it hard to raid, because at the end of the day, nothing's changed in terms of how hard it is to be raided. You know, if they deploy your base, you still want to make it hard for them. And obviously, all these crafting stations count towards the timer as well, but not the panel counter. So what I mean by that is, if you've got 130 wood panels, that'll still fit in that base with all them crafting stations on top, but when it's counting down, it maybe be 160 panels, because you've got 30 loot boxes, crafting stations and whatnot. I'm wondering if anyone's actually, because we were doing some PvP last night and we had a very successful a very successful raid on a POI. There was a large clan there currently crafting, and we parked the ships, the walkers, really far away, and just went in with wingsuits and ambushed them, and we done really well. Massive profit. Another good point to note is we can maybe go and have a look to have a look in the lava area and go and see the aggro range on the crab, because it can, from what I've seen so far and what I've tested, it does de-aggro now, and I'm unsure whether it can be taken out of the lava area, so that's a massive bonus, especially for all you guys who've got a active proxy or a clay base set up. You know, the crab can't be kited over to damage your stuff. I'm gonna be that's my mission for today, is to farm some bone splinters and wood. I'm gonna be putting this base back in the dinghy, and I'm gonna be making a 130 panel complete redesign base for the Mollusk or the Stiletto, and then after that I'm gonna be looking at a compact base design for the Mollusk or the dinghy, just like a really compact, quick deploy base. I've got some ideas in mind. One of the guys who watches my videos, the Cypriot his in-game name is, and he was showing me some things you can do with wall panels to like make a triangle honeycomb, and you can make like a very small 2x1 compact strong base with the stacking method there with the roof panels. But I really don't like this, ladies and gents. I really don't like how people can see exactly where everything is. But like I say, the timer is a pain in the arse, but it was necessary. It really was, and it was the original concept as well. On the first couple of, I think they took it away. The first day it was there, but then because of all the server problems, they thought that the base packing was causing the crashes, and maybe it still is, because the servers are still not stable and they are still crashing. So maybe that base packing is causing some problems, so we might see it removed again. But like I say, don't let that put you off too much about making when you come to make bases. But I can see that it will split people maybe 50-50. Like, people will not want to be making big big maximum panel bases because of the time it takes to pack and unpack them, and it'll not phase some people either. So I'll be making videos for both audiences, one for the people who don't mind about the unpacking and are still going to make a strong base, and one for people who would like something a bit more compact and easy to make. Right, where are we? Let's have a look. Let's go to the lava area. But what a this is a huge buff to solo players and small groups, the Mollusk. But then the base packing is a huge hit for not just for solo players but for anyone. I mean, we caught out a small Chinese clan on this server yesterday. They're probably about similar numbers to us, between 8 and 12, and we caught them out with the base, and they were absolutely stacked, ladies and gents. Massive score, massive victory for us, but a shame all the same, you know. But that's the part, that is the aim of the game, ladies and gents. I've noticed that the FPS issues, like, see if I'm walking through the forest or just traveling on foot, the FPS drops are non-existent, and also if I zoom in, into the ship, the FPS improves a lot as well. But with the massive zoom out now, you're getting more in the frames, you know. You're capturing more, you're having to see further distances, so everyone just chilling here. This tile that we're on at the moment is probably going to be one of the first ones to burn up, because so when they add that, we actually need to start preparing. In fact, I need to put these tablets in the main base. This is the group main base, not my main base, by the way. You know, one wall and you're into everything. I really don't like that idea. But I'm quite insulted that my clanmates haven't asked me to build the main base. Terrible, isn't it? But people like ease of access, you know. It's not for everyone making these big extravagant bases that, you know, are a bit of a pain in the arse to get around. But I'm a Rust player, and I want to make it. That's where I've come from, and it's definitely given me an edge on this game, both in like strategy and in base building. Because this, ladies and gents, is just no good to me. One wall, all your loot gone. It's a piece of piss, you know. Oh, maybe one-hander. Oh, we got me. Oh, he's got me. Oh, got him. There, he got me. Well, just edit that out, ladies and gents. That didn't happen. Right, that's the base unpacked, so we'll get away! What the fuck? Get out, Mike! Gotta watch this guy, he steals. So what we'll do now is clip to a clip from me getting chased by the crab in the lava area and showing it despawning. So it does actually work, or de-aggroing should I say, not despawning. But I'd just like to take this opportunity to thank every single one of you that have given me the time of day and actually subscribe to the channel. It really does mean a lot. I mean, I've just hit the 1k subscriber count in just a short period of time. So it's given me a huge motivation to keep bringing you quality content. If you'd like to see more videos in this format, let me know in the comments, and if you're new here, please consider subscribing to the channel. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. We'll cut to the crab chase now.